Hello, welcome to the Union View. I am your host, Gina Miller, and I'm here this afternoon with my guest, Andy King. Andy is the Bronx Regional Director of the Healthcare Education Project. This office is located at 1184 Gun Hill Road, right here in the Bronx, New York. Andy, thank you so much for joining us. And I just wanted to know a little bit about the Healthcare Education Project office that you have started here.
Well, thank you, first and most, for allowing me to have an opportunity to be on your show this afternoon and share a little about what we do here at the Healthcare Education Project. We opened up the office here officially on June 19th as the Juneteenth celebration. And the purpose of this office being set up is the Healthcare Education Project, which is $11.99. In the joint venture with Greater New York opened this up to give us access to our communities to organize. What we do here at the office is provide educational tools to help people understand what's happening for us healthcare issues in healthcare, in addition to our members at $11.99, providing them with other information that they need for the benefit department, giving them numbers to help them if they're going through any type of situation, have some information which can be a conduit as them trying to get down to the main office headquarters on 42nd Street.
Okay, and the information that we have here, which Andy is referring to, we have pamphlets on the benefits of $11.99 members, child care fund benefits, prescription plan benefits, and so forth, and even home mortgage program benefits. The $11.99 members enjoy a wealth of benefits, and I always say it's the best healthcare plan in the world. So this healthcare education project venture is ideal because there are so many members of the community who don't share the benefit of a package like 1199's benefit package. And healthcare is threatened right now in the state of New York in ways that no one could ever imagine. If you look at the proposed budget cuts that the governor has laid out, there are millions, billions of dollars that they are projecting that will be cut from healthcare alone, which will very grossly affect the housing, hospitals here in the state of New York. Looking at in the past few weeks or so, people who have been in the news where the woman who died in Kings County Hospital, the state actually has just found that the hospital was negligent, that there were gross negligence on the part of the staff at the hospital. And all of this is due to cuts that come by way of budget cuts. Every year, the state is looking at cutting. And so if you cut staffing, then guess what? You're gonna cut people, and you cut people, you're gonna cut the amount of care that the people who are sick and come to the hospitals from those communities seek those hospitals to care for them in the time when they really need it. And unfortunately, that poor woman died and no one knew. She sat there for 24 hours. So Andy, I am so grateful that the Healthcare Education Project is even in existence, because a lot of people in the community, which I'm sure that woman and her family didn't know, that there is such a thing as a group of people who have dedicated their lives to make sure that people in the community are educated about healthcare and educated to the fact that healthcare should
To know what's going on. So when there is a call to action for them to get involved, they can't say they didn't know, they weren't informed, but now they have been engaged, informed, and organized so we can mobilize anytime we need to get an action done.
Mm-hmm. So now, when you go out into the community, I mean, you said you started, the office opened on Juneteenth, which is excellent, perfect time to open in the community. How did you begin going out to the community? What was the message?
Well, the message, I'll backtrack if I may. We started about 3 years ago with the Friends and Family Program. And the Friends and Family Program was when we had a fight against, at that time, it was Governor Spitzer. And what we did was we organized, went out to our communities, whether we went to senior centers, we were at churches, we were at churches every Sundays, we was going to civic organizations, we was going to PTA meetings. Anybody who was standing, walking, talking, or breathing, we had a conversation with to get cards signed, let them know that this was happening with the budget. We we have to protect healthcare in our communities. And how do we protect healthcare? By us coming together with one voice and letting our elected officials know that we cannot and we will not tolerate not having fair representation in local government and federal government that will provide the funding that we need to maintain healthcare, which, as you so eloquently put it, healthcare should be a right, not just a privilege.
Okay, well, that's a great start. And we also wanted to mention, I'm glad you mentioned that you went into the churches, that it's very important for the churches in every community to get involved in this conversation. And so we invite you to seek Andy and seek someone from the Healthcare Education Project, but particularly I would say more specifically, preferably, Andy, and invite him to come to your church to talk to the members of your congregation about the Healthcare Education Project. Andy, thank you so much for all the great work that you're doing.
Thank you.
And we'll be back after this.
All right, so that was just 6.5 minutes.
6.5 minutes?
So
Okay.
These are the individuals that have built this city that at the time when they should be enjoying the last couple of weeks. And when we go to senior centers, when we go to nursing homes, that these individuals are not taking this lightly, and they're standing up with a tremendous spirit of struggle and sacrifice. And I think that we're going to see a wave of activities from them that needs to have an impact and that needs to be at the center of these budget cut discussions. And I think that one of the most dramatic things that we've been able to do is to help them have their voices heard. And I mean, that's one of the things that keeps me fired up. And every time I go to one of the centers or the nursing homes, and I see how they're getting together, how they're writing letters, how they're taking political action. Also seeing how there is a tremendous level of wisdom there, and they should be heard. And it's very strong to hear them say such things as where SOS means save our society, save our souls, because at the end of the day, we're making decisions based on, we're defining our society right now with the decisions that are being made. And one of the things that's been at the center of our values have been protecting the most vulnerable of our population. That has been one of the most rock solid values that we have promoted, and right now we're not doing that. So these budget cuts discussions have tremendous impact on not only what we're able to provide for people right now, but what kind of legacy, what kind of culture are we leaving behind, are we giving to the ones that are coming behind us. And so, I mean, these are the words coming out of the people that I've heard in the nursing homes and in the senior centers, and I feel very empowered by those words and that commitment to justice. Those are some of the things that we're seeing across the city.
His stance on fighting everything, you know, you gotta say, hey, let's be a diplomat and being able to have that conversation for everybody, because civil rights, most time you talk about civil rights, it's a black struggle. Even though whites are incorporated, it appears to be a black struggle. And someone looking at you as a militant, you got to be a president for all people.
Right.
You already got that stigma. It's hard for anybody to say.
But the perception is about black, but it's about a human. It's about human beings.
Right.
That's what the civil rights movement is all about. That's why some of the Caucasians got it and were part of that movement.
Exactly.